Ajnanatimindasya Gana Gana Salakaya Chaksusumritayena Tasmasi Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtan Stapitayena Bhutale Sayarupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadantika Vande Hansi Guru Sita Parakamana Si Guru Vaishnavamscha Sirupan Sakjatan Sahagana Raghunatalitan Sajiva Sadvaitan Savadutan Parijana Sahitan Sri Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padasahagana Lalita Sri Vishakavitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kantarara Kantanamastiti Tata Kanchana Gorange Radha Vrindavan Viswari Vishavana Sutadevi Hari Panchakapatarabhyascha Kripasindhyevacha Atitana Bhavana Vidya Vaishnavya Namo Mahavadanjaya Krishna Premapadayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Puratsaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadara Sivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Anandalila Maya Vikraya Nabata Vichavi Sundaraya Tasma Maha Prema Srapadaya Chitaya Chandaya Namaste Chitaya Chandaya Namaste. So, I have not been well in the last few days. So the body has been feeling sick. So it means not so much energy is not there. Hopefully I'll be able to say something. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna telling Arjuna what is at the heart of bhakti to him. Just like in the text chapter 2, text number 41. So Lord Krishna told Arjuna that Myabi Kramana Susti Pratyavajana Bhute Swapam Abhyashadamasha Triato Mahato Mayadat. In this endeavor, in this case, this endeavor of devotional service, that there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So if you are looking for a way to become free from fear in this material world, the only solution is devotional service to Krishna. And this devotional service to Krishna is so powerful, is so pure, that Lord himself, he said, Apiche Suduracharo Bhajanti Mano Yabak. He said that for one who has engaged in my devotional service, even if you engage in the most sinful activity, Sudurachara. Sudurachara means the sinful activities. Such a person should still be considered a sadhu. So, so today we're going to be reading about how the Lord said about the powerful nature of someone who, engaging in devotional service, he became sinful. The Lord said such a person is still a sadhu. He's a sadhu. He should never be criticized. So the Lord is saying. Sadhu eva samantavya samya vyavasito isha. He is considered to be saintly because he is properly situated in devotional service. So now today, the Lord is telling Arjuna, text number 31, chapter 9, Kipram bhavati dhammatma sasva shanti nigacchati konteya pratijanihi name bhakta panasyati. Kipram, very soon, bhavati becomes Dhammatma, righteous, Saswat Shantim, lasting peace, Nigacchati, attains, Kunteya, O son of Kunti, Pratijanihi, declare, na, never, may, my, bhaktaha, devotee, Ranasyati, perishes. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Purport. This should not be misunderstood. In the 7th chapter, the Lord says that one who is engaged in mischievous activities cannot become a devotee of the Lord. One who is not a devotee of the Lord has no good qualifications whatsoever. The question remains then, how can a person engaged in abominable activities, either by accident or by intention, be a pure devotee? This question may justify be raised. The miscreants are stated in the 7th chapter, who never come to the devotional service of the Lord, have no good qualifications, as it is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Generally, a devotee who is engaged in the 9 kinds of devotional activities is engaged in the process of cleansing all material contaminations from the heart. He puts the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, and all sinful contaminations are naturally washed away. Continuous thinking of the Supreme Lord makes him pure by nature. According to the Vedas, there is a certain regulation that if one falls down from his exalted position, he has to undergo certain ritualistic processes to purify himself. But here, there is no such condition, because the purifying process is already there in the heart of the devotee, due to his remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly. Therefore, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, should be continued without stoppage. This will protect a devotee from all accidental fall down. He will thus remain perpetually free from all material contaminations. Shki Pram Bhavati Dharmatma Sacha Shanti Nigachati Kanteya Pratijane Name Bhakta Pranashiti. The Lord says, he quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So here, because of the nature of devotee of the Lord is telling Arjuna that Arjuna should make a declaration that Krishna devotee never perish. Because in the execution of devotional service, there's always certain kind of fear that what will happen if one slip up, if there's accident or fall down. What will happen? About all one's devotional activity. Because devotional service, bhakti, is of spiritual energy. It's not of material energy. And as such, it does not belong to the material world. It says that bhakti, bhakta, and bhagavan, they do not belong to the material world. They belong to the spiritual world. So even though the so-called fall down of the devotees that may be apparent to the mundane vision is in reality, it's not really a fall down. Because it mentions that a devotee of Krishna never falls. The Lord said, for one who engaged in my devotional service, such a person, he has nothing to fear. Bhaya means fearfulness of the material world. Bhaya, Dvitiya has shared that engagement in devotional service to Krishna, it eradicates all kinds of fear. So when Arjuna when Lord Krishna tell Arjuna that he should make a declaration that yes, my devotee will never perish. Declare it. Kontaya, telling Arjuna to make a big announcement, big drum, let people hear that yes, Krishna devotee will never perish. Now, when we say, how come Krishna himself did not make a declaration? After all, he's there on the battlefield, and there are millions of people who are there in front of him, and Krishna's voice is such that when Krishna speaks, his voice is so deep, his voice can be heard from all over the universe. His voice, he does not need a loudspeaker to speak. Krishna has a very deep voice. So Krishna could have just make a declaration, my devotee will never perish. But he told Arjuna, here's my promise, tell everyone my devotee will never perish. Why? Because sometimes when Krishna makes promise, sometimes his promise can be broken. And there are so many instances like that when his promise were broken on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Like before the battle of Kurukshetra, when both the Pandavas and the Kauravas, when they went to Lord Krishna for support in their fighting, both Arjuna and Duryodhana, they went to Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna told them that, look, there's two things. There is my army, we call it Narayan Sena, my army, who is undefeatable. And then there is myself on one side. Now, both of you, the Lord's telling Duryodhana and Arjuna said that you have to make a choice. One of you can either take my army, and then my army will fight on your behalf, or one of you can choose me, and I'm not going to carry a weapon. I will not fight. I will not carry a weapon. So, Duryodhana immediately chose Krishna's army. He said that, why should I choose Krishna, who's not going to carry a weapon? So he immediately chose Krishna's army, Narayan Sena. But Arjuna, who is naturally a devotee, he said, I'm so happy that I will have you on my side. I will have you, Krishna, to be, and you can please be my charioteer. Because after all, everybody knows that, yes, wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, that's where the victory lies. So that's what happened. Now, so the Krishna made a promise. Krishna said, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to carry any weapon whatsoever. Now, during the battle of Kurukshetra, when the fighting was going on, so the battle was so heavy fighting. The region was so fierce fighting that it looks like the Pandavas they'll be defeated. It looks like the Pandavas will be defeated, but at the same time, the Pandavas also, they were very very fierce fighters. So Duryodhana, he went to Yudhishthira, he went to Maharaj Bhishma Dev and accused him that you are favoring the Pandavas, you are favoring them because you always have affection for Arjuna. So therefore, you are not fighting the way you should. After all, Bhishma Dev is undefeatable. So Duryodhana accuses Bhishma Dev of favoring the Pandavas by not fighting the way they should. So Bhishma Dev wasn't so happy to hear that from Duryodhana. He said, okay, look, tomorrow I promise you I will defeat the Pandavas. And I'm keeping these 5 arrows beside. I'm keeping beside these 5 arrows. I'm going to use these 5 arrows to kill the Pandavas. So Duryodhana said, well, just for me to trust you, let me keep these 5 arrows with me. I will keep these 5 arrows so that tomorrow morning I will give you these arrows back. So at the end of the day, normally in the battle of in the Vedic battle, in the evening time, all the fighters on both sides, they always like friends. They can visit each other's camp. So Lord Krishna, who is the Paramatma, so he knows that Duryodhana is keeping these 5 arrows with him, which had been given to him by Bhishma Dev. So Lord Krishna told Arjuna, there's one time that Duryodhana, he made you a promise one time. He made you a promise. So you should go to him now for him to fulfill that promise. Tell him to give you the 5 arrows which was being kept with him by Bhishma Dev. So listen to this. So Arjuna, he went to the camp of Kauravas. He went to Duryodhana and told him that, my dear Duryodhana, do you remember a promise you made to me some years ago? You made me a promise some years ago. Duryodhana said, yes, I remember. You can ask anything. If you want your kingdom back, I'm ready to give you your kingdom. Anything you can ask for. Because this is the Kshatriya spirit. Kshatriya means, they live by their vows. He said, yes, I'm ready to fulfill your promise. So Arjuna said, give me those 5 arrows which were given to you by Bhishma Dev. So Duryodhana, he has no, it's okay, you can take the 5 arrows. So this, the weapons which was being kept with him by Bhishma Dev was taken away. So the next day of the battle, when Bhishmadev asked Duryodhana that now give me those 5 weapons, 5 arrows I gave you yesterday for me to fight the Pandavas. And then Duryodhana explained that, well, these 5 arrows has been taken by Arjuna. So Krishna so Bhishmadev yes, this is Lord Krishna who made this. This is Lord Krishna's trick. So therefore, I am going to make Krishna break his vow. I'm going to make Krishna break his vow. Either I will kill Arjuna, or he will have to break his vow just so he can protect his devotees. So Bhishmadev said that. So Bhishmadev made a promise that Krishna must break his vow. Now, Bhishmadev, of course, is also a devotee of the Lord. So he wants the Lord to break his vow. So he wants to see how the Lord is going to break his vow now. So when the big battle was going on, and the Bhishmadev was very, very determined. He just wanted to see Krishna breaking his vow of not carrying any weapon. So Bhishmadev was fighting valiantly, fighting. He was now attacking Arjuna. And Lord Krishna, of course, is the charioteer of Arjuna. So when Krishna saw that Arjuna is very, very much in danger, so Krishna got off the chariot. He came off and took the wheel of the chariot and was rushing to Bhishmadev to kill him. So he was rushing to Bhishmadev to kill him. So when Bhishmadev saw the Lord coming, rushing to kill him, so he was so happy. He said, oh, now my desires have been fulfilled. And he was making a prayer. So he can now come and kill me. My desire is fulfilled. So in this way, the Lord stopped killing Bhishmadev. So sometimes the Lord make a promise, he breaks it. He does this only for the sake of his devotees. But if his devotee makes a promise, then Krishna will protect that promise of his devotee. So Krishna will protect the promise of his devotee. But he will not. His own promise may or may not be, protected. Of course, Lord Krishna is known as Bhakta-Vatsala. Bhakta-Vatsala means is very, very affectionate towards his devotee. He's not Bhakta-Vatsala. So, in this verse, the Lord is telling Arjuna that you make a declaration that my devotee can never perish. So when the Lord is saying that if a person who is engaging in devotional service and such a person falls down, such a person, the fall down of a devotee should never be considered to be a fall down at all. Normally, our tendency is that if we see a devotee who may be having some trouble, let's say having trouble controlling his senses or having trouble keeping a vow, our tendency is normally to criticize such devotee. But this is not the recommendation of the Lord. The Lord said, a devotee, even though he may be sinful, is still to be considered a sadhu. It should still be considered a sadhu. Sadhu, Eva Samantavya. It should be considered a sadhu. In this verse, it has got so many many commentaries by different acharyas. In one of the commentaries on this particular verse, these two verses, these two, text 30 and text 31, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had commented that when one sees a devotee falls down, when one sees a devotee falling, and one does not consider the falling of such a devotee, one is not considering the falling of such devotee, one still see such devotee with a very high regard. Yeah, it's a devotee of the Lord. Because there's things happen where we slip up in our devotional service, but devotee is still a devotee. Devotee is still worshipable. So it says that such a person who has got this mentality that yes, a devotee of Krishna will never fall down. Such a person who has the mentality, such a person become Dhammatma. Such a person become Dhammatma. Dhammatma means very, very, religious person. Very dharmic, very, very religious. Become very, very religious person. Such a person who have such a mentality towards a devotee who everybody will be thinking, oh, this person is falling and this person is falling. Another person said, no, this person is not falling. This is the Lord's own arrangement. Because there may be many different reasons why sometimes we make a slip up in our devotional service. It can be because of our previous activities. So our previous activities sometimes it enables us to have some problems in our devotional service. But such problems is temporary. As a matter of fact, the moment one wakes up, it's like having been in a deep slumber, and then one wake up again, one become awake to reality. It's just like the story of Bivamangal Thakur. So Bivamangal Thakur, he was a very high-class Brahmana, very high-class Brahmana, also a great devotee, of course. Somehow, he became attracted to a prostitute. He became attracted to a prostitute, Bivamangal Thakur, and then he started pursuing her. He gave up everything for this prostitute, even though he was married before and all that. He had a very attractive, nice Vedic wife. Still, he abandoned his wife and pursued and going after this prostitute. So he became so attached to the prostitute, So there was one time, it was a big rain. Big thunderstorm. And Bivamangal Thakur, he wanted to go and visit the prostitute. So it was a big storm. Still, he was so determined to go and see her. So he went. He went towards her house. And then there was a river on the way. So he has to cross a river, big river, which he has to cross. So he was looking for what to use to cross this big river. Somehow he saw something floating by. He decided to use that floating thing, but actually that floating thing turned out to be a corpse. But he used this to cross the river. He was not paying attention that it was a corpse. He used that to cross the river. And then when he reached the house of the prostitute, he saw that all our gates were locked. He tried to figure out how to enter our house, and then he decided to climb the fence. So climbing the fence, he looking, and then he saw a rope to climb the fence, but it was not really a rope, it was a deadly snake. It was a deadly snake that he used to cross the fence to the other side. Eventually, he climbed the fence and entered the courtyard of the prostitute. So, when the Chintamani, the prostitute, when she came to the door and she saw Biramanga, how he was so drenched, she was surprised that how could anybody come here in this type of weather? Who can do this? So see him, and then she told him, she said, look, you've taken all this endeavor just to come and see me. All this endeavor you have taken. If you are using the same endeavor to realize God, Bhagavan, your life will be perfect by now. If you have used the same endeavor. So, one Bivamanga, when he heard this, immediately that struck him. He said, oh, you are right. If I've used the same endeavor, trying to realize God, Bhagavan, my life will become perfect by now. So immediately gave up all the attachment to the prostitute, and then he decided to start walking towards Vrindavan. So he was walking towards Vrindavan. And then on his way, he was kind of thirsty. And then he saw one Brahman couple. He saw one Brahman couple, and he asked them that they should give him the water for drinking. So this Brahman couple, they were very, very, always happy to welcome sadhus, of course. So, and then Bhimanga, somehow he looked at the wife of the Brahmana. He desired to enjoy her. So then he asked the Brahman, said that, my dear Brahmana, can you give me a private moment with your wife? Give me a private moment with her. I want to be alone with her privately. So, the Brahmanas, they are very, very simple. They say, okay, whatever, you can have a private moment with my wife. I don't mind. So, be alone privately. So the Brahmana's wife, she asked him that, Sadhuji, what do you like? What do you like? So Vimanga Thakur said, please give me your earpins. Give me your earpins. Because every lady in India, they all have earpins on. Give me your earpins. So the lady, she didn't know what he wanted to do with the hairpin. So she gave him the hairpin. And then when she gave him the hairpin, immediately Brahmanga, he took the hairpins and poked his eye. He said, now my eyes is my trouble. Now I'm free. Now I'm free now because my eye is my free. So he blinded himself, and then he started going towards Vrindavan as a blind man. But as he was going to Vrindavan, Krishna himself came to lead him. Krishna himself, came to lead him to Vrindavan. And there's such a very beautiful interactions that took place between Bhimanga and Krishna when he was on his way to Vrindavan. Krishna Kanaramita was very beautiful set of prayers by Bhagavad-Gita, which he composed. He composed these songs for the pleasure of Krishna. Very nice, beautiful songs. I cannot sing the song because my voice is not so good. So in this way, a devotee may have some temporary fall down due to some previous, due to some, let's say, some previous samskaras or something like that. It may be there because of some previous samsara. But a devotee of Krishna, because of the engagement in the devotional service, a devotee of Krishna is always rightly situated. So therefore, the scripture always says that yes, we should not criticize any devotee. We should not try to judge the character of a devotee. Because if we do that, we become at fault if we judge the character of a devotee. So the Lord says that my devotee is, is telling Arjuna, tell people that my devotee will never fall down. So this is the word of Krishna. This is the Lord's word. Kunti pratijani name bhakti pranasyati. My devotee will never perish. So we have to have solid faith in these words of the Lord. And this is the beauty of devotional service. These are so beautiful. That in devotional service, no one is a loser. Everyone is a winner. Everyone is a winner. The Lord will not judge. The Lord is not the Lord of justice. Because in this material world, we all are too much into justice, into judging. We are too much into judging. That yes, you do this, you get this, you do this, you get that, This is why we call this material world is a land of justice. Because of that, no one is really, difficult to be really happy in this material world. But in the spiritual world, it's a land of dedication to the Lord, which is, love is the main criteria. So no one will judge you in the spiritual world. Everyone, whatever you do, everyone simply want to encourage you. Everyone want to encourage you in whatever you do. So that's what the Lord said, the Sasashantim Nigachati, lasting peace. Lasting peace. So in the spiritual world, everyone is a well-wisher in the spiritual world. So that's not done. Of course, as I said earlier, that devotional service is a spiritual activity. The bhakti, bhakta, and bhagavan, they all belong to the spiritual world, do not belong to the material world at all. Material world, everything is calculated. The spiritual world is not. So therefore, this is the basis of devotees association. This is the basis of the devotee association, because devotees, when they are with other devotees, they are very, very happy because they are able to, enlightening, to be able to share with each other the nectar of Krishna consciousness. That is devotional association. So there is no such a thing as being fault finding or anything like that. No. So there are so many other points that is here. So I'm going to stop here. Any question? Question or comments about what Lord Krishna is saying? He says his devotee will never perish. Sorry, I'm not so well, so I don't know if you're able to hear me. Is it? Okay. Okay. So, any question? Everything is understandable. Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.